today from a Powerhouse Life Coaching. Are you ready for your burning question of the day? And my burning question for you is, do you have the disease to please? What do I mean by that? Well, do you people please? Are you an overgiver, overprovider, an overachiever? Do you have trouble saying no, overcommit to way too many people? Do you have trouble creating boundaries for yourself? Well, if you said yes to any of this, then the universe has brought you to the right place today. When you're saying yes to things, when you really mean no, and you're coming from a place of obligation, what happens is resentment builds up. We start to feel like we're getting taken advantage of. That, my friends, is being dishonest. It's not nice. And it's also harming your relationships. Which brings me to my second point. You're not building true, authentic, meaningful relationships. So many people think compliance means compatibility, that if there's no fights, the relationship is perfect. It's so perfect. But just because there's no fights does not mean you're compatible, nor does it mean you know each other. All it means is you have mastered avoiding conflict. And if you're always just going with the ride, coming from a place of yes, and you've never shared your preferences, your desires, your deal breakers, well then the other person doesn't know you, they've never seen you. And being seen is sharing your preferences, your desires, your wants. And in that space, that's where fulfillment and happiness lies. But let me be clear, that space of happiness is not easy peasy. It's actually really muddy. But that's okay, because muddy means you have a voice. You have a right to your opinion. You have a right to be seen. And you have a right to have a true, authentic connection, a meaningful relationship. You get a voice and a connection. Now, in order to have all of this, happiness, fulfillment, true, authentic relationships, your truth, your voice, you need to develop these 5 skills. Skill 1, develop the skill of knowing yourself, knowing your desires, knowing what you want. Check in. You should have an opinion. And what are your deal breakers? Deal breakers in a relationship or deal breakers in a workplace. Skill number 2 that you need to develop the skill to ask for what you want. And I can already feel your fear with me saying this, but I want you to know it's natural. You just need practice. Skill number 3. You need to develop the skill to receive what you want. This sounds easy, but there are so many people that feel guilty for getting what they want. Now, the 4th skill you need to develop is not lighting yourself on fire if someone says no. The reality is you're not always going to get what you want. But it is important to acknowledge your truth, connect with your desires. And in this process, we need to build a resilience to people saying no. Why? Well, you're not always going to say yes to other people, which is the 5th skill you need to develop. You need to develop the skill of saying no. It's part of creating your boundaries for yourself. So to conclude, you have the right to have desires, to get what you want. You have the right to get what you want as much as possible. Because why not? And you have the right to say no without a reason. You have rights just like everybody else. Well, I hope this video was informative for you. If you had any ahas, appreciations, drop a like, send a DM, drop a comment, do a reshare. Looking forward to hearing from you folks.